Hello everybody. Today in this video we'll be learning about the entire history of Vijayanagar Empire, which was founded in 1336 AD and which undoubtedly is one of the most important topics of medieval history of India. Now, things which we are going to cover in this video are about the foundation of the empire, that is who founded the Vijayanagar Empire and when. There were other 4 dynasties which ruled this empire. We'll know about the names of all those 4 dynasties, but we are not going to cover them in much greater detail. We'll see the religious, social and cultural conditions of the period. Post, we'll see the architecture of the empire. At last, we'll see the factors which led to the decline or downfall of the empire. So before we start the broad study of the Vijayanagar Empire, I would first like to show you all the map with which you can have a brief idea about the location of the place. So as you can see in the map that the Vijayanagar Empire was situated in the extreme south of India, and it was basically situated in the state of Karnataka. So it had major dominance in the southern region of India. Now let us move to the content-wise study of this big empire. So first we are going to learn about the establishment or foundation of this empire. That is, when was this founded and who was the founder of the Vijayanagar Empire. Vijayanagar Empire was founded by Harihara I and his brother Bukkaraya I of Sangama dynasty and was founded in the year 1336 AD as said initially. So these two people were the founder of Vijayanagar Empire. Now its ruins are located in Hampi in Karnataka. Now Hampi is a place in Karnataka where the ruins of this empire are located. Now just to let you all know, Vijayanagar Empire had 2 more names which were Karnata Empire, Karnata, Karnata Empire, and the another name was Bisenagar Empire. So, these might pop up as 1 markers in the exam, so just to let you all know. Now, as said initially, there were 4 major dynasties which ruled Vijayanagar Empire, and those were Sangama dynasty, Saluva dynasty, Tuluva dynasty and Aravidu dynasty. So I'm not going to discuss all these 4 dynasties in greater detail, but just to let you know the names of the dynasties which ruled the Vijayanagar Empire. Now, having discussed the major points about the 4 dynasties which ruled the Vijayanagar Empire, now let us move content wise. Let us do the content wise study of this big empire and first learn about the socio-cultural and religious conditions of the empire. So very briefly we will discuss about the socio-cultural religious conditions of the empire, like how was the society of that period or that time, what and how was the system of administration, what were the religious beliefs of the people. So first comes the social condition. So there were the existence of 4 main castes: Brahmins, Kshatriya, Vaishyas and Shudras. So these were the 4 prominent castes at that time. Societal norms were rigid and untouchability was prevalent. Slavery also existed. Now all the social levels were prevalent during that time. Widow remarriage was allowed. However, the condition of women was not very good, but they were allowed to remarry. Religious tolerance was seen in the social sphere of the Vijayanagar Empire. So there was a religious tolerance among people. Like Muslims were allowed to practice their religion freely. They were allowed to build mosques and practice their own rituals and beliefs. People were really involved in recreational activities like dancing, music, gambling, wrestling, etc. were the preferred forms of entertainment. So these were some social conditions, some pointers about the social life of the people of the Vijayanagar Empire. So when it comes to cultural life of the Vijayanagar Empire, we see richness and grandeur. So Vijayanagar Empire has a very rich heritage as it attracted large number of foreigners. Building of temple was seen in the cultural life of Vijayanagar Empire, and the most important temples of Vijayanagar style were found in the ruins of Hampi, for example Hazara Ramaswamy temple. So when you see the temple architecture, they were the most important temples of Vijayanagar style was found in the ruins of Hampi. Hazara Ramaswamy temple was the prominent example of this. The architecture of this period depicts the construction of gateways or tall gopurams and the Kalyana Mandapam with carved pillars in the temple. This talks about the architecture of the temple. How was the temple of that time looked like? They had gateways, that is tall gopurams, and they were Kalyanam Mandapam with carved. They had Kalyanam Mandapam with carved pillars in the temple premises. So this basically talks about the architecture of the temple at that time. And Sanskrit, Tamil, Telugu, Kannada were the most popular languages of the region. Since you know that Vijayanagar was in the extreme south of India, so it is very obvious that these major languages had their dominance. Dancing, painting was usually popular at that time. And you know, when it comes to the literature of the period, there were lots of works written at that time, which I'm not going to mention in this video, otherwise the video will be too long, too stretched. So you can do your own research regarding. However, those points are not very important from the examination point of view. So basically these were some pointers about the cultural conditions of Vijayanagar Empire. Now we shall move forward and learn about the economic conditions of the empire. So agriculture was the chief occupation of the people, and irrigation facilities were developed to boost agriculture. Since agriculture was the dominant form of occupation at that time, hence it is very obvious that irrigation facilities would have been very good, so that they could help in the agriculture. They could help to boost agriculture basically. Now Vijayanagar Empire was connected to seaports of Malabar coast, which obviously helped in the growth of trade activities. Since, as said initially, Vijayanagar was situated in the extreme southern region of India, hence it was connected to Malabar coast, which obviously helped in the trade activities. Dams were constructed across the river, and export of goods such as silk, cotton, sugar, spices, etc. also added to the economy of the region. Some industry also flourished at that time. Now these were some social pointers about social condition of Vijayanagar Empire. Having discussed about the social, cultural, economic conditions of Vijayanagar Empire, let us now learn something about the administrative system of the empire. So when we talk about the administration of Vijayanagar Empire, we see that they had very well coordinated and well administered system. Head of the state was king and was assisted by the council of ministers. Now Vijayanagar Empire was divided into 6 provinces or rajas. Each province was administered by a governor called Nayak. However, village administration was independent of any charges, which means that village administration enjoyed autonomy. They had the privilege of self-rule. Now land revenue was the prime source of income. Infantry, cavalry and elephantry constituted the entire Vijayanagar army. The commander-in-chief was in charge of the army. So things which I have underlined in this slide may come as MCQ based questions. So these were some basic and brief points which you need to memorize when asked about the administrative system of Vijayanagar Empire. Now having discussed the major points regarding Vijayanagar Empire, we have come to the end of the module, which brings us to the decline of the Vijayanagar Empire. Now in order to understand the downfall of the empire, first we'll have to know about the Battle of Talikota. Now Battle of Talikota took place on January 26, 1565, and this battle was fought between Vijayanagar Empire and Deccan Sultanates, and Vijayanagar Empire lost the battle. Now this defeat came due to 2 reasons. First, Vijayanagar Empire had very weak and less advanced army, whereas Deccan Sultanates were very much advanced and sophisticated with their artillery warfare. So Battle of Talikota constituted the big reason for the downfall of the empire. Another reason which led to the decline was the weak participation of other kingdom feudatories, for example Mysore. Now in case you do not know, Vijayanagar Empire was not a single entity. There were several kingdoms which ruled Vijayanagar Empire. So there were many other kingdom feudatories which did not participate in the warfare. So, and the prime among them were Mysore. So these were the reasons which led to the decline of the Vijayanagar Empire. And yeah, if you see, I have not covered this module in a very broader detail, in much greater detail, because this is not very important topic, so to say, from medieval history's point of view. So yeah, if you like the video, please consider liking it, sharing it and subscribing to my channel.